Yep, you heard it right. I saved $25,000 my first year of trucking. My first year, and that's the most money I've ever saved in a single year. So that just tells you, like, yeah, I was blessed my first year. And mind you, I could have saved so much more. I wasted that money, y'all. To be honest, I did it all wrong. And if I had to do it over again, this is exactly what I would do to save more money my first year of trucking. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Just Trucking It Tati, coming to you today with a new video. And I find myself doing more or wanting to do more educational video, especially talking about financing, because I did a YouTube short and everybody was like, this is a good video to make. So I wanted to do my due diligence and create another video speaking on something that I should have done. Like, my first year of trucking was it started out rocky with Werner because I was doing Dollar General touch freight. So I was making with Dollar General touch freight, it was a guaranteed what? 1100, right? So was it the first month? I think the first month was a guaranteed 1100, right? So I had that, and that was good. A guaranteed 1100, because by that your first month you're learning the ropes, you're learning to how to deal with the rotainers and unloading, and your body is excuse excuse me, y'all, your body is pretty much adjusting to everything, right? So the first month was 1100, and most of the time my checks was probably what, after taxes, maybe 900 something, 1,000 something. That's what I was making, and I was only doing 3 trailers per week because, again, I just started. So before I left, that's pretty much the honest truth. I was at 900 something. However, you can make a lot of money on Dollar General touch freight. I don't know what's going on with me. You can make a lot of money on Dollar General touch freight, right? But you have to learn stuff to do. You have to learn little tricks here and there, right? You need at least 4 to 5 trailers per week to make the money that you see everybody talking about, 1800, 2000, and stuff like that. However, I left Dollar General like what, a month. So I only stayed on that account for a month because to me it was not worth the headache with management, and it wasn't worth the money. I feel like I should have been able to do 3 trailers, because 3 trailers, right, a week. One trailer can be up to 3 to 5 stop depending how it's loaded, right? So you were doing your work. They were working every single dollar out of you. Luckily for me, y'all, I was blessed to have a friend at the time who got me into high value load based on referral, right? So with the high value loads, I was able to save a lot of money my first year. So every time I'm thinking, if I had the opportunity to start my trucking career doing high value loads, I would have saved probably maybe 40,000 my first year. And I'm going to tell you why, because there's things that I should have done that I did not do. Now, let's start with how I was able to save the 25,000, right? The first part is that my bonus was $10,000. I had a $10,000 sign-on bonus. So I know it's weird saying this, but I feel like you have to be strategic when it comes to your money coming into the trucking industry. The whole bonuses have changed throughout the years because clearly a lot of people were taking advantage of the bonuses, right? They were just coming in, working enough to get the bonus, and then they would quit, right? So a lot of companies have pretty much wised up and they've stopped offering the bonuses. However, there are still companies that do. I just saw a company that offers 7,500, but I can't remember the name. I'll have to find that out, right? There are still companies who actually still give you a nice bonus. Clearly, you're not going to get all this money at once. It's paid out like maybe your first one 30 months, 30 days, 30 days, so 1 month. Then you have to wait 60 days. Then it's the next 90 days. So things like that. They kind of spread it out, which is smart. So I got lucky because my first bonus was $10,000. That $10,000 I put to the side. I did not touch. I didn't touch that money whatsoever because I was earning enough money where I could leave that money to the side and not touch it and still cover all my bills, right? I still had my apartment. I still had all my bills that came along with my apartment. I didn't have a car payment because I did buy my car cash, thank God. but I had my insurance and things like that, right? You still gotta buy food, you gotta do a lot of stuff. So those are money coming out of my pocket. So the biggest mistake I made my first year trucking is that I should have given up my, I was about to curse, but I pulled it in. I should have gave up my apartment. If I had given up my apartment, that alone would have been around 12,000. Yeah, around 12,000 or a little bit more. So I could have saved $12,000 additional to that 25, right? So that's already putting me at $37,000 right there, right? So that's the biggest mistake I made. I did not move out of my apartment. So that's a sure way for you to save money. Now, clearly, I have to think about people who have family, they have their kids. They can't just move out. But there are options. Some of us, we don't have kids. We're single, aka me. I'm by myself. I live alone. I tend to just stick to my little shell, right? So I have to cover my bills. So therefore, if I should give up my apartment today, it's only going to affect me and nobody else, right? There are some people who are blessed to have family where they can move in with their family, because you're only going home either for a 34 or 48-hour reset, or you go home 1 week after 3 weeks. Because I was 3 weeks out and 1 week home doing the team driving, right? High value, right? So I was only going home for 1 week out of each month. I didn't need that apartment, right? So that's one thing. First, giving up the apartment, or getting rid of any expenses that are not important. It's not important, so get rid of it. Two, the next thing I should have done. So while I was saving all that money, it was just sitting in my account. Yes, I have Capital One. So all of my Capital One accounts, pretty much, it has a good interest rate. I have the high yield saving Capital One account. So that gives me a good interest rate. So let's say on $10,000, I'm probably getting maybe 30 something, $40 per month, right? Hit 20, I'm probably getting around 50 something dollars, $60 per month, every month on my savings account. That's not bad, because it's $60 that you didn't work for, right? Your money's pretty much growing. But at the same time, that doesn't do anything. So I had all that money just sitting down, just collecting dust, collecting nothing really, when I should have learned to invest in stocks. Now that I'm on my little 3-month break, it's approaching, I'm like 2 months and a week. I haven't been in a truck. Now that I'm on my break, I'm now learning about stocks, how to invest when it's low, a low, or finding a new stock where it's projected to grow, but I can get it at $2, $3 and just watch it grow, right? AKA SoFi. If there's any stock buys on here, I am stocking and growing my SoFi stock. So I've had time now to sit back and realize the errors of my ways my first year trucking. If I had taken even $5,000 out of my account and say, let me invest it in something like Nvidia or Apple or Tesla, I would have seen money by now, because those stocks are doing so good. AMD, Alphabet, it's so many that I could have invested that had good or sure way of growing. Like, you knew for a fact it was going to grow within a year or 2 years, right? So that's another thing. Don't have your money just sitting there. Find some way to invest that money so you can grow it and you can gain a profit on it, right? So that's my two biggest mistakes. I should have given up the apartment, and I should have definitely invested in something. Now, additionally, there's several things you can do. I'm here and I'm doing so much research. I'm gathering so much information because, as y'all know, I'm trying to see what else I could do at this moment. If I decide to go back in the truck, I want to make sure I have something where I'm gaining money from it just in case. So I've been doing so much research, gathering so much information, and I've also made steps to try out something, that I want to do to see if I can grow it into a legit business. At that time, there are so many things I could have done. I could have invested in a car. I have a car paid off, right? But the whole situation with Hyundai, that messed me up, right? But I could have invested in a vehicle to rent out. That would have also helped me to gain money, right? So there's so many stuff you can actually do with your money so you can grow it, where it's just not pointless. Because here's another thing. I have that $25,000 saved up, right? And remind you, I also was paying bills on that. So if I had given up the apartment, I also would have opted to not have the cable, the light bill, all that stuff. So again, I really could have saved $40,000. So I know this won't be everyone's situation or experience the first year trucking, because it does get very tricky. I was just blessed in that way. But think about it, right? By the time I went to Prime Inc., because I know some people who, follow me, subscribe to me, watch me, know my story. By the time I went to Prime Inc., I still had that money, saved up. But with everything that went on with Prime Inc. in terms of going into the leasing and then getting that truck and not making any money, I started going into my savings, right? And that's what really like pushed me to just step away and get away from Prime, because I just saw I have a number that I like to see my savings account at, because I don't know if you're like me. If you come from a background where you're normally struggling, single parent, you didn't grow up learning how to maintain financial stability and all that stuff. You didn't have a lot of money in your savings. For me, before trucking, I probably saved $2,000 in my savings account, and then now I'm seeing this amount of money. So I got really scared once I saw my money dwindling down. I did not want to go back to that. So that was one of my reasons for saying, hey, I got to get out of Prime, because if I stay here and I'm legit working for them and paying myself out of my own money, I'm not going to have anything. Fast forward, now I'm taking off the time to, to find something to do, what I can invest in, what I can do for myself. That money pretty much has helped me to be able to invest in something and invest in what I want to do. So realistically, y'all, I feel like no matter how difficult the trucking industry gets, for most of us, or for the most part, it's still paying more money than regular jobs. It's still paying more money than most jobs. Like for me, to even say $1,000 a week, short $1,000 a week, and if you're going up to the $1,800, $2,000 a week, and I'm talking after tax as a company driver, that's great earnings. So I feel like no matter what, trucking may get bad, but realistically, you make more money than the average citizen, right? So there's so many ways for us to do better. We don't have to always buy a truck, because a lot of us, we have to be honest, we're not built to own a fleet. We're not built to be an owner operator. Most of us are pretty much more stable and secure as a company driver, right? But there's so many ways you can find to make sure that while you're trucking, your money is growing for you, you're investing, you can gain profit here and there. It's just that we have to take the time out to do our due diligence and do our research. So right now, 25,000, that was a great savings for me my first year. I'm always happy and appreciative that I was able to do that my second year. My second year, this year, was a whole different ball game. However, I still was able to not have to touch that money, right? So when I went into tanker, yes, it was a struggle, but I still had the money saved up that helped me to just to have that to kind of fall back on, where now I can say, let me figure out a few things before I jump back in the truck, right? So if I had to just give any advice to a new driver in school or just starting out, give up that apartment, find a company that has a great sign-on bonus, follow whatever rules they ask you to follow to get the bonus, so you make sure you get that done. And 9 out of 10 times, the companies who are offering like big bonuses, their weekly pay are normally very decent, very good, and very stable. So if I had to give any advice, that's what I would say. Sign on bonus, give up the apartment, quit all the bills that's taking money out of your pocket, and 4, invest in something, learn trading, learn stocks, learn whatever you can learn where you can put your money in and gain a profit off of that. That's the best financial advice I can give to a first year truck driver or a new driver about to come into the game. That's what I should have done. So even though I saved money, I also wasted the money. But it's a lesson learned, and now I'm out here trying to find a new journey, y'all. So next video I make, I'm going to let y'all know what I'm doing. Yeah, what's the new story? Am I going back into trucking? Am I taking a longer break? Yeah, I'll definitely let y'all know. But as always, Thank you for watching. If you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me at JUSTRUKNITTATI. Y'all have any questions for me? I'll be happy to jump in the comments and talk to y'all. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Bye, y'all.